10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time. Dyer's ban. Radiant's pick. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Dyer's
Hello to
pick.
everyone in Dota TV. Sorry, the stream just crashed, so we're just getting that fixed, and then we'll get started here right away.
Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds. Reserve time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dota 2 Asia Championships. We're in the European qualifier. 3 teams will go to China. One of them is already known. That's Power Rangers. They punched their ticket yesterday. They may end up as a wild card. They still have a shot at that first place where you actually get seeded directly into the main LAN event. To those who are hearing my voice, maybe not having video, just refresh the stream quickly. We did have an XSplit crash, so it might be a little wonky, but looks like everything is encoding smoothly now, so hopefully no more issues the rest of the way. Of course, with all that said, this is a best of 3. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Mr. Coddle Guy. Hey Dakota, how you doing?
I'm good, LD. Hopefully I'm coming in loud and clear again. Hellraisers now going to be taking on Team Empire, so this is a nice intriguing matchup, and you're banking that there's going to be a slight edge favorite towards Hellraisers. I'm still feeling pretty good about Empire. They've looked pretty dang strong, and already in this draft they're not feeling like the Wisp Tony is going to be possible. Hellraisers, well, as they've been waiting on the sidelines, I'm sure they've watched that long, epic, drawn-out best of 3, so they don't want anything to do with both that Wisp and that Tide Hunter. They absolutely get rid of it, but yeah, man, overall, super excited. More Dota, what can you ask for, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So the story of last series was the Tiny Wisp. Hellraisers, not messing around with that. They're just going to ban it out first phase. Of course, when you ban something like Wisp, it leaves the Brew in the pool. They maybe could have banned the Brew instead of the Tide Hunter, but both of them still very fearsome teamfight presences, and generally we don't see teams give away Brew very often. There are ways to deal with him in lane. That being said, it seems like most of the ways to deal with him are never really that convincing. I think I've seen a Brew actually straight up get wrecked in lane like once out of 10 to 15 of the most recent Brew games I've cast. So you know he's going to get his, you know he's going to be a big threat later on in the game, and you just have to draft to be able to punish it. So Bristleback's pretty good against the Brewmaster split. Once he gets it off, you can go for the Global Silence. You've Skywrath Mage in this case. There are ways to deal with the hero, but it's never easy when you give him away.
No, certainly not. Skywrath Mage is a good hero to also be going against this Brew with that instant silence. Some other teams also favor something like a Witch Doctor because the cast just works so well bouncing between all those spirits and has formidable lockdown or any sort of respected silence. So just kind of dabbling a bit here in the team's history as far as playing against each other. They do have a total of what looks like about 8 matches with a Empire 7-1 advantage. They've beaten out Hellraisers 7 times. To, of course,
Reserve
won
time.
the last time they met was the 20th of December in Star Ladder Season 11, where
Radiance
it was
ban.
Empire who bested Hellraisers. So, on paper it would seem that Empire are going to be the heavy favorites coming in, but I saw yesterday's series, Hellraisers, they're a team that says never say die, always staying cool, calm, and collect, and made some big
10
comeback plays to really
seconds to
take it
go.
Virtus Pro, so I'm expecting big things from them.
Yeah, that.
Five,
No, I think it was like
5
25,000
seconds.
gold swing comeback.
Yeah.
You can't count these guys out. They go now for the Ember, and Empire will snap
Dire
up the
team
Rubik
ban.
support. It's a support that doesn't get much love in most scenes by most teams, but if anyone's gonna run it, it's Empire. Aloha
Oh, yeah.
Dance played this hero 3 times in his last 7 games. That is a
Radiant
lot of
team
Rubik,
ban.
considering that I think I've seen 2 Rubiks in like the past 30 games I've cast.
And they're 4-0 with Rubik, undefeated, at least those are 6.83, so they definitely know how to play the hero. And
Dyer's ban.
feels like kind of an early grab for Rubik if you're just kind of hoping to get the best as far as spell steals, but outside of that, he still offers so much.
Yeah.
Just great setup, great movement early on. Has some great late game potential. Of course, it certainly helps that he has that extra
10
bit of magic
seconds
resistance
to go.
to get something like a Skywrath mage. So overall, love the pick.
5
Works very nicely.
seconds.
We'll see where we go from here. Empire, I love the respect ban onto Chen. Hellraiser is one of those teams that really
Reserve
loves to
time.
roll with the Chen. They've rolled it with a couple of times. They rolled it, I believe,
Dyer's
one
pick.
or a couple of the games that you guys got to cast yesterday, and I
Yeah.
wish more teams picked up the hero.
Goddamn has played 2 Chen games and 2 Enigma games in his last 5. They love their junglers, so Empire see that his support's not taken yet. They say, well, we don't necessarily know what cores you want to run. We don't necessarily care, but we ban out the 2 premier junglers right now, and you're pretty much blocked from going for that. There's still things like Sand King that
10
could come out.
seconds to go.
Wouldn't be a bad choice, but against Rubik, it's a dangerous hero to give away spell
5
steals on. So
seconds.
we'll see where Hellraisers want to go. They may hold off on that support pick now and go for a core.
Reserve
Could be running the Ember mid
10
against the Brewmaster, maybe even
seconds to
dueling
go.
with the Skywrath. That's a pretty effective combo to shut him down. But
5
they have options.
seconds.
We can see the Ember safe lane on occasion, and they'll go for the PA. The PA is something that
Radiant's
Hellraisers have run quite a bit of. 2 games for Arts on this in the 1 position. With that said, a lot of right-click potential coming out now from Hellraisers.
Yeah, just kind of like putting it out there in the first half of the draft, saying this is what our late game, this is what our cores are going to be. What are you going to do about it, huh? So Empire now with 3 more picks to go. They see what the game plan overall could be here for Hellraisers as far as their true damage output. I mean, this isn't a lineup that's like going for huge heavy C's.
10
PA's
seconds to
more like
go.
a one-on-one. And
5
so you see in
seconds.
PA, you got to get someone who could, hopefully build up something like an MKB or at least some sort of sheepstick to deal with the evasion.
Reserve time.
Yeah,
Reserve time.
Generally, we don't see. Generally, PA does not
Dyer's
excel
pick.
against Brewmaster. He's got Drunken Haze. You can build the BKB, but it's quite a lot to farm, and you have that. Oftentimes, when PAs really take off, is even before then. They just get the phase, sometimes drums a kill, and start going for pickoffs. Now, you can go the other route, go for like a Dominator, or even a Battle Fury, and just play her more as a hard carry. And the concern with doing that is that Empire
10
may just look to bull
seconds
rush you.
to
If they see
go.
PA off going for greedier items, not combat ready or
5
worthy, then you just go
seconds.
with the Brew and start taking fights. So the
Radiant's
Sand King I
pick.
brought up, Hellraisers will go for that now. A lot of heroes that require farm on this team, though. The Ember, PA, Sand King all need
Yeah.
their personal time in the jungle or in lane, and Empire with the Venge Rubik, some good roaming potential to maybe shut that down.
Bit of a greedy lineup, not gonna lie. But Hellraisers are a team that love their greed. They always seem to love to roll with that greedy kind of support, whether it's that Shen, the Enigma
10
also was a bit of a
seconds
respect
to
ban
go.
right there. So one of the next best kind of greedy supports you could ask for, Sand King.
5
Who's
seconds.
going to be kind of hobbing and bobbing a bit in the lane, but overall he wants to put his time into the jungle, get that blink dagger, and he becomes
Reserve
one of
time.
the best initiators and gap closers in the game. Big team fight impact, of course, with that epicenter. I love the hero. We
Dyer's pick.
used to see it day in, day out. People praised it. The Mantis King here. FY God love to run it. I definitely welcome it back. Here we go. Empire back for the Doom here. So Doom again against the Ember Spirits. Nice little counter pick grab right there.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, Doom is. It seems like it's a pretty go-to
5
hero for Empire.
5
They ran it
seconds.
occasionally in the past, but works well against the Ember Spirit. I will say that Flame Guard's still pretty good against him, as the Doom is blocked by magic block until that wears off. So It can shut down PA as well later on if you get the Aghanims, remove her evasion. That's kind of like having a Hex, and if it goes late, it's going to be hard to out teamfight Empire. Assuming Doom gets that Eggs Refresher, no matter how big PA and Ember are, they can just get wrecked by that, so... I think both teams very scary late game, and this one may not even get to that point. Both teams also able to snowball. It's a melee-heavy, kind of carry-heavy draft so far.
Yeah, so with this final ban to come out, Hellraisers had gotten rid of that Razor, fearing that Team Empire probably going to be looking for someone else to do a bit more of that siege prowess. Omni Knight.
Dyer's
This is
Pit.
a hero that pretty much only the Northern American teams really love as their first bid, first back, but or first ban, first pick. But Empire feeling like maybe it's something Hellraisers could go for here. I don't remember seeing it in their recent game history, but just kind of fearing out having that extra bit of GA potential, I suppose. But I imagine they're going for an off-laner here. Tidehunter's been already banned out. Centaur's still there to pull available.
10 seconds to go.
Venomancer's been something that Hellraisers have ran before.
5
I can't remember
seconds.
not if it's something they put in the off-lane position. I think Gorek was running it.
Reserve
Yeah,
time.
Gorak played it twice, and they ran it once on Alpha
Radiant's
Ninja,
Pit.
but they go for Clockwork.
I like it.
Clockwork Skywrath, classic combo, hook into Mystic Flare. It's not really the best Rubik game, though. Or, sorry, not the best Clockwork game. Rubik can throw him out of the cogs. Brewmaster, and normally can just man-fight you inside of that, and then split if he needs to. We'll see what the last pick from Empire is. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on the
10
Clockwork picks in
seconds
general. They've not had a
to
ton
go.
of success lately, but
5
there's always that. And you can swap allies
seconds.
out of the cogs as well. So I feel like Empire have a lot of ways to deal with this Clockwork.
Reserve
I
time.
can see that. Also, Rubik, it could be one to pick up something like a Force Staff, so you already have another answer right there for what Clockwork could bring. Well, we'll see where they look to take it from here. They still could look for more answers for someone like the PA or an extra bit of silence for the Ember Spirit. So to round things out and actually identify where these roles are going to lie here between maybe what the
The Sonic Gyro. Play probably Gyro than like all other competitive players combined in the past few patches. At least it feels that way.
Yeah, him, Havost are probably just the top two go-to gyros that I see. No one else really go for the gyro unless it's like, well, we got a Wisp and we don't have access to a lot of other options. Let's make a gyro work. I guess we kind of need.
This should be
wave
interesting.
clearing. We'll look to make it happen.
And it seems like Silent is almost the only one that's making it work. Is the other thing. Other people are running it, but Havost has not had a ton of success as of late.
No, certainly not. So what do you think Gyrocopter really adds to this kind of a lineup right here? Because we need to start with the pause, of course. That's just how the day has gone. It's just, okay, there's the draft. Let's all take a moment to breathe, accept it for a moment. But Gyrocopter, you know, the lockdown being there, Clockwork jumps in, puts down the cogs, and now he's already at risk of being called down upon and with a heavy barrage assault. And, well, Gyrocopter is a big candidate for getting something like an MKB, so being able to add that extra bit of damage, not only breaking through the evasion of PA, but spreading that damage across the whole team is pretty damn devastating.
That's true.
Silent
It's also a
is by far.
BKB carry, and you really want a BKB carry against Skywrath Sand King. That alone, and Clockwork Ember have a lot of magic damage to follow up. Still, you can run into issues against melee Abyssal Blade carriers. Like, good example here is the PA, where they don't have the defensive Wisp relocate out. They have heroes like Doom and Brew to maybe protect him, but yeah, I think having a BKB carrier is essential against this type of lineup from HR. And Gyro, a BKB carrier that can also fight fairly early and fits the bill for what looks to be very heavy mid-game aggression from HR.
Yeah. So, with that said, I guess as we wait out this pause and you're seeing the draft, do you still feel very confident about your Hellraiser boys? I know you feel like that. I'm pretty heavy for my Empire guys, but I'm always just a big fan of those. Do you still feel pretty strong? Now seeing the draft at hand, they get this Clockwork with the late Gyrocopter grab.
I'm not sure how I feel about the Clockwork pick. I also always am afraid of Empire when they have the Doom. I'm gonna stick with HR, but I'm kind of liking Empire's draft better. I'm not gonna lie.
Because you forget also Rubik with Telekinesis certainly helps.
It's such a good. There's so many good spells to steal this game. Cogs are pretty good. Burrow Strike's amazing. All of Skywrath's spells can be strong. PA Dagger's okay. Ember's spells are kind of iffy unless you get the Flame Guard. But I think just being able to steal Sand King Burrow Strike is I think it's the best spell in the game to steal. You can make arguments for Fissure, a lot of the big AoE ults, but obviously most of them have long cooldowns. But especially for non-ultimates, it's on the short list. Very annoying. Well, with that said, we'll have a reconnect here, Dakota, and I guess we'll introduce the teams just hoping that this game will actually get underway. We've got Always Want to Fly on your Vengeful Spirit for Empire. They come in this one nice and warmed up as they just took down VP Polar, one of their other CIS arch-nemeses, 2-1. Silent on his signature Gyrocopter, Aloha Dance playing your Rubik, going mid to support Resolution on the Brewmaster, rushing the bottle, one of Resolution's best heroes, and that leaves Yoki as your off-lane Doom.
Alright, for your Dire side, it's going to be the Hellraisers, also a team that has slain the Virtus Pro Squad. It's going to be Gorak here in your off-lane Clockwork. We're going to have Jay going to be playing your Ember Spirit. Just behind, we're going to have Skywrath Mage, going to be played by Dread. Arts is going to be playing your PA, and up and above on the other side of the world, we got him, going to be playing your Sand King.
No, that was
30 seconds.
No,
to
you
battle.
got Ember. Did you get the PA? Yeah, you got Arts.
Okay, I'm good.
Counting is hard, man. as me and Andrew learned yesterday. English is hard, counting is hard. The early onset Alzheimer's is real. So let's see. Are they actually going aggressive here? I assume they're just contesting this ruin.
Let's get this farce over with.
Never refuse good.
Sorry, I'm going to crank up my volume, you said, a little bit. We're in-game, so we can make sure we get it back underway here. The threshold in-game is very different from the one in Bumble, apparently. So, speaking with that, early smoke here from Aloha Dance on his Rubik as he kind of dances about here. Waiting to see maybe who's going to show up in this mid lane. It will be Resolution. And, well, on the other side, Afo Ninja, is he going to be an easy grab here? Also close by, he's got him. So this could be a finicky start. They ping it about, so now he knows. Afo needs to be low ground. Telekinesis is still going to be able to catch. They throw him back, but, well, they're not going to be able to follow through with anything. Just early harassment.
Yeah, and with that, they looked for goddamn just to be stacking the jungle. Rubik wanted to mess with him a bit. Not the easiest thing to do. If you get too far into the woods, then maybe the Ember rotates around and tries to go on you at a level or two. So both teams will be using the jungle. Sand King getting his stacks on, the Doom doing the same thing, and that means this offlane's abandoned, whereas Gorak is getting levels right now. So if the current kind of laning arrangement remains as is, then HR will be coming out on top. Aloha Dance really trying to make things happen early on his roam, but he's going to walk into trouble here. Burrow Strike's at the ready. They'll go through with it. They have the chains and level 1 Flame Guard, and he has lift, so he's no way to break that Flame Guard. First Blood incoming. Goddamn, gonna get it. Very fast. Blink Dagger on route now.
Yeah, a bit awkward right there. Maybe Aloha Dance is still feeling that Wisp kind of play, and he likes to hang around the mid lane harass, but Rubik doesn't have the luxury of getting a tether to get the hell out of there, so he's in a bit of an awkward position, and they kind of just move in and capitalize on it, and doesn't take long to get your first blood. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter being brought down pretty low here in the bottom lane. Silent has to step back and behind the tower and work with the CS there, but it's been Gorak kind of dishing out the cogs and rockets to take it to him. He went salve up.
You look at this lane, Venge Gyro, and generally it's a lane that Clock just kind of has to play back in, right? Because he gets stunned, then you just go on him with Rocket Barrage, and Clockwork can't really... He can't dish out as much damage as the Gyro in that situation. But he managed to cog the Gyro under a wave. Unfortunately, he had already skilled Rocket Flare. Had he gone for Battery Assault, that's a solo kill for him. But you just don't expect to catch out a Gyro like that, and certainly not without the Venge anywhere in sight. So, kind of unfortunate for him how it turns out. Still, it's a great start. Level 3. Doom is keeping up, but the difference is Doom is leaving this PA to free farm. HR are being allowed to get away with the jungle Sand King, and I think overall, HR definitely winning in terms of the experience battle, but perhaps it's being made up for because Empire's core is out farming them for now pretty heavily, actually. All 3 cores topping the CS charts right now.
Yeah, this is a free top lane right now for Hellraisers to work with, as it's going to be an immediate, at least move back to the jungle right now. Yoki just going to make do there. And, well, allowing Arts to get this early bit of farm is okay for now. PA is one of those heroes that can peak at interesting times. And, well, we'll have to see where things do tend to progress. Clockwork, though, is not getting, well, he's getting actually reasonable XP. He's already halfway through level 3, which is great. 1 CS, but he's here more for the levels. Now they converge, and he
You jinxed him, Dakota.
Uh-oh. He cogs himself into a bit of trouble, gets tossed right back into those cogs, and I think Gorak is going to go down. So, Caster Curse, very much real here.
Yeah, you have some rares on Empire, I suppose, and doing your best to put the pox on him. Good job. Good job for your Empire fans. But the Sand King did continue to stack. It looks like he actually also has a triple stack over here. So that is 2 camps that might even end up being quad stacked if Goddamn goes for another. They're trying for it. This will be a super fat Sand King. Maybe even they give some to Ember. It's almost more farm than the Sand King needs.
I feel like he could have taken it to the next level and even done the wave on the small camp just to get an extra stack in there. But, oh, well,
That's
for now,
just dirty.
Yeah, whatever. You know, sometimes you got to play dirty to win. So, but you're right. Sand King, though, is going to get a lot of sweet farm up in his own jungle, but Empire also making a lot. So this is interesting. Both teams pretty formidable. You got one-on-one, lots of jungle. Bit of a mirror match here early on, and look at the patience here. Mid lane, they're waiting for an attempt to move on in. Apo going to be caught out. Telekinesis back, fall through his magic missile. Wave called on out, and, well, see you later. And that's going to be another sweet pick there on the mid lane. Good rotation, good gank from Empire.
Dire's middle tower.
They've just had great early movements from Aloha Dance, and you can really see why they like the Rubik. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but if you have high damage laners and a secondary support in the Venge, then Rubik just needs to be there to set up. You get him with the boots, you lift, and you follow up with a clap magic missile, and that's pretty much a free kill. Aloha Dance has been so active, and almost every single movement successful, aside from that early jump mid. Hits level 3, and he's barely even been in the lane. It's a nice start for him.
Yeah, these two have been moving around so much. It's almost like the old school, like BG Gaming rotation around. They used to do with even Rubik a lot, and
yeah,
they really love to just kind of keep the pressure all over the place. I love that kind of Dota, and kind of feeling that sense right here.
There is a big trade-off here, though. Sand King already cleared out the 1 quad stack, and now goddamn about to clear out the other. Blink Dagger is almost going to be done after this, so we're looking at a sub 10-minute blink for sure, possibly even faster. He's got level 3 Burrow as well. He doesn't even opt to take the level 3 Sandstorm just because he's had such a hot start, which means he's combat ready as soon as he gets this blink. And he's 1 set of stacks away from completing it, it looks like, and they're already making that new stack here in the other big camp. HR really playing the jungle and economy game, and Empire more focused on the early ganks rotations. And the thing is, it might look like Empire's way ahead, but Sand King clears these stacks, gets his blink, and 1 good gank, they can be well in the lead on the side of HR.
Hey, you could say the same thing the other way, though. Silent's got a free lane to work with, and there's some stacks in their jungle. You can always step back and work with that. Just 1 simple flat cannon, maybe a help.
Yeah, I mean, the main difference is just the gyro doesn't have that same playmaking potential, right? So.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's
if they come to him and he's in the right position for big calldown, then yeah, you're definitely right. It could be a game changer.
But that's when Sand King, his time, he comes online and starts controlling the tempo and the pace of the game. And if he's able to bring in lots of kills, his whole team benefits from that. And then the gyrocopter on the other side doesn't look so big and bad. Now back on the return, Gorak in the bottom lane going toe-to-toe here with Silence. Got to throw out the early cogs and thinking about coming in and out right there, but he's going to be able to hold strong for now. He's simply got his boots and stout for now. 400 gold. Still trying to get some CS. He's 4-2 at level 5. Not the best offlane experience, especially after being taken down earlier. On the other side, they catch out Afo Ninja. Always want to fly, throws out the magic missile and steps back, but the chains are going to catch. And now Aloha Dance comes in, plus resolution with the clap. And there's that dude from Yoki. Secures the one on the Ember. Now they see Dread. Hey, Dread, welcome to the fight. He's also taken down. Double kill for Aloha Dance's Rubik. And Gotham's able to burrow strike out to safety. But can the same be said for Arts here? Dagger flies from downtown and catches on Always Want to Fly. And they do get that Vengeful Spirit return.
Goddamn got warded. He immediately will de-ward. Another 50 gold on his pocket, and that's just about the blink right there. So, it's obviously good for Empire getting those kills, but they don't manage to kill the Sand King. That's the real prize, delaying the blink timing. So it should still be very timely. But he's going to have to make plays, as Well, hold that thought. Ninja finding a kill on the mid lane. Not sure if you caught that one, but nice jump on the Rubik.
Radiant's middle
He gets that
tower
little
is
bit of
under
bounty there from the
attack.
killing spree that Rubik had managed to throw together, so it makes things just a little bit nicer for him. He completes out that bracer and is one step closer towards those drums. Pretty good return right there, and also Brew gets another kill. I'm pretty on fire for missing kills, not gonna lie.
That's okay. I caught all of them except for that one mid. But yeah, Brew split deployed bottom lane. Nice pick off by Resolution. And at this stage of the game, they're not really ready to 5-man anyway. Silent still building his Yasha. He's shown a variety of builds on Gyro. He's gone for Midas Rush at times, Dominator Rush at times. He doesn't generally go BKB though. Silent likes to play more of the farming oriented builds. Yasha, a nice mix of everything. You can go for the Manta and hold that thought as Aloha Dance gets crit lorded into submission by Arts. He goes Dominator, and we'll probably see him just start stacking a couple of neutral camps here any moment now.
The nice thing with this new Helm of the Dominator buff, adding that extra 250, well, I'm hearing a call down, but that's just silently already working with those stacks here in the jungle. But the nice thing with the Helm of the Dominator buff, plus 250 extra HP, you can pretty much dominate anything, and it would be able to do the stacks for you. Even this little range creep at 810 life, so he's a little beefy boy, and he can happily do the stacks. Just a fun little side fact. And here we go, smoke rotation here. Silent in trouble as he does those jungle stacks. Clockwork, hookshot forward, and is he going to be able to walk away with this one? No, he will not. Gorak gets a nice grab right there. Good movement coming out from Hellraisers, and they catch out Silent just as he was trying to build in all that sweet farm.
Sand King tied for highest level hero in the game, level 8. And they're looking for more plays. Looking to pounce onto this Rubik mid. They know the Brew split was used earlier bottom, so there's not much of a way to disengage, aside from just running away, which they will go for. The swap out, and then the stun in. But this causes Gorak to have an opportunity to dive onto Aloha Dance. He'll get that kill. He then prompts the entirety of the enemy squad to retaliate against him. Your Brewmaster for Resolution will turn that one around. And in the end, it turns out not too terrible for Empire, but losing the Gyro, a costly defeat there.
Yeah, certainly so, especially after he was just bringing down some huge farm in the jungle, and he didn't even have call down because he was using it for the farm, so it just happened to work out
Dyer's
very
middle
nicely
tower
there
is
for
being attacked.
Hellraisers. Now Empire, they get the best of that trade in the mid lane, only losing their support for the Clockwork, but now they're smoked up, they're ready to continue going on the assault here. They know that that PA gotten a little bit too much farm up here, and she's going to go right for what looks like the Battle Fury, so they want to be able to punish her here. We'll see if they can kind of make it happen.
Dominator Battle Fury. This is a very farm-intensive build, and he's still pretty squishy right now as Aloha Dance gets in range. She's going to toss him back. Blink out, though. Nicely done by Arts. They'll commit a Doom for this. Cogs are there, holding Yoki back. And now Gorak on the retreat. They need this deny. They'll get it. Beautiful play by Gorak. He still pays for it, though. He swapped in. He hooks out. He keeps on running, but they just don't have the follow-up. Despite all those fancy plays and great footwork, they still lose 3. One of them denied. And Ember, no TP. Ninja not able to assist the team. And goddamn, had just TP'd bottom, it looks like.
Dyer's
And
top
therefore
tower is under
was not in
siege.
position to support.
Radiant's middle tower is under siege.
I don't know if they can take fights even
Dyer's
with this Sand
structures
King
have
Blink,
been
though.
fortified.
They're just up against so much. The
Dyer's
Brew
top
split,
tower is
call
being
down,
attacked.
Doom when it's
Radiant's
online.
bottom tower is
That
under
right there
Dyer's
is
top tower
almost
has
as much
fallen.
team fight as like the entirety of HR, just in 2-3 heroes. And
Radiant's bottom
imagine if they
tower
steal
is being
something big on
attacked.
this Rubik.
I know it's not a plate of nachos
So
or
with that
anything,
Empire,
but it is
take down
important to the game.
first tower of the game, a waltz away from that one. Afro Ninja, who continues to farm out this mid lane here, can't get overzealous about his farm because that rotation from above is coming right on down, and he knows it. And, well, there's going to be a grab as PA does drop. She finds her own kill and, well, drops Silence Gyrocopter there in the bottom lane. Got him putting to work with that Blink. Burrow Strike sets it up.
Nice pick off. Ninja will go for treads. We don't see treads very often on Embers. Generally, he doesn't benefit that much from attack speed because the vast majority of his right click will come from Sleight of Fist. It is nice for making your bottle charges a bit more efficient. Uh-oh. Gorak gonna clash here with Yoki. They both back down. A game of chicken featuring 2 chickens.
Uh-oh.
And now they do an
Got
illusion.
that illusion. Got that illusion. Oh,
Big
that was
plays.
bit
Radiant's
awkward
bottom
right
tower
there.
is
So,
being attacked.
well, good work coming up from Hellraisers to kind of bait them into that one. Empire going to lose their precious Doom and kind of be scratching their heads after
Radiant's
that
bottom
one.
tower is
That
under
allows
siege.
Hellraisers to really open up on this bottom tier 1 tower. Looks like they're going to get their first structure of the game.
Radiant's bottom
HR
tower
strike
has
again.
fallen.
Gorak getting the last hit.
Dire's middle tower
And they
is
throw
under
out a
siege.
rocket. And they get vision on Silent. That's a very long dive, though. I don't know if you want to be
Dire's middle
diving
tower
under
is
his
under
tier
attack.
2 with Brew split online. And Brew's going to go in top. He commits the split for Dread. Insta TP out, but that doesn't work when the Brew's already insta split. So he ends up dropping. Simultaneously, Arts is just quietly farming up a storm. This guy is looking at a Battle Fury with Dominator very soon.
Dire's top tower
Top lane,
is
though,
under
they're going
attack.
right back for a kill of their own. Resolution, who is doing a bit
Dire
of side
has
farm,
fortified
is going to get caught out.
structures.
Afo Ninja jumps on forward, gets it done, but on the other side of the world, it's Silent who gets the kill himself, taking down Korik. Just like last series, action is top to bottom.
I swear we've seen more kills in the first like 5-10 minutes of these games than some of the games I've cast in the past week have had in 50 minutes. That's just non-stop, brutal, violent beatdowns everywhere you turn. I do want to point out that this little Ancient stack was scouted out by your Sand King. Goddamn is aware of it. He's going to ward it off and look to block any future stacks. Something the Gyrocopter really likes to take advantage of. And speaking of that Gyrocopter, he gets pounced on bottom lane. Arts with his Dominator creep at his side. Courier comes in. Will Arts be able to hit it? Can't quite. Goes on to Silent and surrounds him with the hook shot. Jamming it home is Gorak. Big pick off again. Nice hook. And the Clockwork pick, he's 3-5, but I feel like he's been a much bigger force than that score suggests.
Even though they lose Gyro, they're happy to take a fight. They smoke move forward, but the second they see Always Wanna Fly, they stun him. Disaster engagement for Empire now. They might need to consider stepping back. They lose another. Oh, I don't think that was the time to go. Spotted out Hellraisers just take advantage and grab another couple of kills from the source, ripping apart both supports.
This is a concern. They might even go. Are they thinking about Roche? PA can Roche pretty early with the evasion, but it would be fairly risky. I think you wait and see if you're Battle Fury here. Battle Fury,
it's
get
not
the
like,
lanes pushed out. Brew split will be up any moment now, 20 seconds and counting. Aloha Dance did steal Burrow Strike, though, that fight. He gets off the 2-hero Burrow, he ends up dying, but it can go a lot differently if the Brew split's activated there, and also if Gyrocopter's alive for the fight. He is their main source of AoE teamfight damage, so I don't think it's a fair representation of what Empire are capable of, but they get onto Arts here, and now he tries to retreat. Can he buy his Claymore in time? No, he didn't purchase it quickly enough. And as a result, he's back down to 1,100 gold. Now they're going to steal a stack, a big win for Empire, unless this is contested. Goddamn, getting lifted up, tossed back down, only managing to steal the Sandstorm, though, for Aloha Dance, so fortunate to at least protect that Burrow Strike.
Bit of a taste of your own medicine, I guess. They get the nice pick there on the PA, taking down the core, and then looks like HR thinking that maybe they can move on forward, but they also get caught. Now, though, knowing that resolution, the split's already been used, just a bit of harassment right there from Afo Ninja, but it's Empire who are going to want to be able to get this tower. With PA and Sand King both being down, it should be a quick snag for them.
Dire's middle
Glyph
tower
already
has
being
fallen.
used, it makes for an easy tower, and Silent gets that last hit, so now he's got two
Dire's middle
components towards
tower
his
is under
BKB.
siege.
It's going to be pretty dang close, and they're not letting up yet. They immediately smoke right back up and head right into NEB territory.
I am extremely worried for HR, though, because Alpha Ninja is dirt poor. And that's a Doom who's now the leader in net worth. If you only have one farmed carry, and you have no way to protect him, he gets doomed and the fight's over. And right now, the PA is the only hero that will need to be doomed the way the game's developing. So I think if you're HR, you need to have a real sense of urgency here and find convincing pickoffs, take a Roshan, somehow get the Embers farm back online, and uh-oh, almost caught out here.
That Insta Remnant allows him to step back and away, but look at this. Gorik, hook shot, catches, always want to fly. There's that dynamic combo, Mystic Flare, Cog Doom, Epi flies forward. Aloha Dance gets off the Fade Bolt, but he will go down. Double kill there for Dread. Hellraisers grab 2 and even things up 13-13.
A tense game. Important win there for HR. Still, they got to get F and Ninja farm. I'm curious to see what he goes for. Will he go Battle Fury? Will he go into the Manta style that we've seen occasionally, especially from some of the Chinese players when they run Ember? More of like a ganking utility tempo controller. It doesn't seem at this point like they're going to be able to win the game anytime soon off of ganks, which would lead you towards the more of a farming-oriented build, but we'll see. They're still biding their time as far as the item selections go. In good news, PA like 600 gold from her Battle Fury. 18-minute Battle Fury Dominator. Arts will get very fat, but he needs to be ungodly fat because he's up against a large Doom in his own right.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting fat as far as damage, but he's only a flimsy 872 HP.
Yeah.
You're going against a Doom, you're going against a Gyrocopter who could spread out his damage amongst everyone, not even just focusing the PA. That could be scary. So after she does throw together that Battle Fury, she needs to consider eating a sandwich, putting some meat on those bones so she can actually take a beating. But here we go.
Bottom tower is under
Call
siege.
down, I guess, scare tactic to get Afro Ninja out of there. He's just kind of toying with them with his haste. But they do clean out a good chunk of those ancient stacks, and that is going to be the BKB. Just about complete from Silent. He has to wait just a little bit longer. 50 gold, unfortunately.
Okay, so he's actually going to go Lincoln's, which is pretty good this game. There's a lot of single target initiation. You're up against Doom, Swap, Venge Stun, Rubik Lift. It is a great Lincoln's game for Arts, and it honestly may be the better choice. I think you go Battle Fury here, and you still have to get one, maybe two items before you can fight. But now you get Lincoln's, go for one damage item, and you're fairly durable. You can also fight now before Doom gets to that point where he deletes two heroes from the game. I'm liking this a lot better than a potential Battle Fury build, especially considering the fact that he's died a couple of times and hasn't had absolute free farm. They also go for a Midas on their Clockwork, so it looks like HR, they're aware that this game isn't ending soon, and they need to have multiple heroes who are farmed so that they can't just lose to Doom, and it's the right adjustment.
They've been working on Roche here. It's going to be a sweaty one, because it's going to be taking a lot of muscle power here as they slowly inch it towards the halfway point. The rest of Hellraisers here pushing out this bottom lane with Skywrath kind of scouting things out. Empire, though, busy over on the other side of the world. They'll continue to do a bit of their own farm game. So as this pushes on towards potentially what we could expect a longer game here, who do you have in the late game? PA's managed to throw together a Lincoln Sphere and then possibly some more damage. I imagine needs to consider maybe an MKB in the future if Gyrocopter wants to go to Butterfly himself at some point. Do you think that PA is the one to bring it in, or Gyrocopter with this huge spread is just going to be too dominating for him?
Hold that thought. We might have a jump here in the mid lane. Gorak getting into position, finagling around with goddamn in front. They're gonna blink on the resolution. He doesn't have his BKB yet, though he's close. He gets hooked by Gorak as he attempts to retreat out. Won't make it out safely. Gyrocopter ult now thrown forth. Gorak getting shredded. This Gyro doing all kinds of work. Arts though has Aegis. He'll jump in, quickly loses that one. Your Epicenter, by goddamn, he couldn't get off the Blink Dagger. I believe he got hit by a stray flat cannon shot, and then he's doomed on the retreat. Art's Aegis popped. Alpha Ninja backing off. They do lose their Brew, as well as Venge, but they pop the Aegis. They get 2 more kills, and a nice little fight for them there overall.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a flat cannon, maybe the Scorched Earth from the high ground. Something prevented him from getting inside with that big Epi. It certainly would have helped out HR. But
he just hasn't had a big Epi yet this game. No other Epi was just on a lone support Venge who was already dead earlier. And as the game goes later, they're going to need him to hit big ones to take team fights. But yeah, as to the question you were asking, if it goes late, I really got to favor Empire, honestly. You have Rubik, who can steal HR's best initiation and Burrow Strike. You have Doom, who owns the late game and makes it a 5v3 if played correctly. It does come down to initiation. If you just find pickoffs with the hookshot, Burrow Strike, maybe PA Abyssal, then Empire can certainly still lose, but it's just so much easier to win a fight with Empire. So if it gets to that point, I would favor them.
Yoki and Silent, they could get caught out here. Yoki's able to blink away, but Silent is not so lucky. Oh, Hookshot's going to miss, and the Burrow Strike here. He has a TP. He's going to pop his BKB and use that TP to get the hell out of there. Good move. Barely dodges out those 2 attempts.
You got to give them credit, Dakota. They're feisty.
Very feisty. Both these teams are feisty.
So, in terms of farm overall, Empire leading by about 5,000 gold, 500 experience. Both teams controlling the enemy jungle right now. And I think if you're Empire, you just keep on farming. You fight when your ults are up, but you you generally aren't afraid if this goes longer. And Yoki closes it now on the Ags. He's up to 3,900 gold, but spotted out. Blink over the top, then goddamn's gonna burrow strike back in so that Yoki doesn't have an easy way out. Unfortunately for him, well, there's gonna be more follow-up. Even though he finds his way through, he drops the Doom, then immediately falls. Resolution with the blink clap. They isolate Alpha Ninja under the tree line, and he'll either get denied here or end up going down, but he is going to die one way or the other. Epicenter being channeled. That one's a direct hit, but the defensive swap allows Resolution to get off his ultimate. Now he charges back in onto Arch, onto Dread. Zabai, down he goes. Aloha Dance joining this one, and then the burrow strike into the cogs, catching him out, quickly dealing with this Rubik, but is it quickly enough? Maybe not. Wow. He just gets wrecked.
Steals the rocket, throws it out, and the Fade Bolt, but they are able to take down that pesky Rubik. Resolution walks away, but he's the lone survivor for Empire, and though it was a valiant effort to save, it was a great swap. He'd done that already once before for sure to save Resolution and be able to get off that split, but sometimes it's just not going to be enough, and, well, Hellraisers get the best of that fight, especially with Arts coming in and getting a couple 6-2-2 on this PA. And she's already working for that first. She's got the Javelin, Basher, going to be coming in the near future. I gotta say, Arts is throwing together some really nice farm here to contest Silence Gyrocopter.
Great mid-game aggression from HR. Just keep on forcing fights and getting the initiations off. That was with the Bruce split being used, so it's not even like they had to prevent the Bruce split. They still come out on top. They are strong now, for sure, and Doom, let's see, he doesn't go for Ags, actually. He backs off for BKB. Mystic Flare has been destroying them and quite often with the hookshot Mystic Flares, and just that silence in general, very annoying to deal with. So, it's a good BKB game, but it will delay their ability to really shut down PA and fight. Silent, no MKB in sight. There's no other way to remove evasion here on the side of Empire, so PA going to be very difficult to take down.
Is being attacked.
He's a bucking Bronco.
Bottom lane, Empire want this tower, but look who's in prime position. But Sand King got him. He's got to wait 7 more seconds for the Epi to come up, so they pop the clip, trying to solve things out, but there's going to be Burrows and move on through. Doom immediately flies out into Arts. Arts will drop. And now, so will the tower. Empire moves on forward. Huge swap back. Got him. Pulls out the Sandstorm. He's going to try to creep away. Sentry's going to be dropped. And well, with that force, he's able to make his way out. Only be able to grab one so far. I say that, but they keep jumping forward. Feisty as ever. Got him trying to hide in the Sandstorm, but not going to be so lucky. Another Sentry just to make sure they can get that Sand King kill. And they're not done with their objective gaming. They move right towards this next tier 2 tower. They're going to get it. Wow, that's 2 towers and 2 kills there for Empire.
Aloha Dance with the big frags. 9, 7, and 5 on the Rubik. He's going to leap in again. Looks for another kill. Brings Goric back into silence. Waiting arms, and another takedown collected. Aloha Dance again, the playmaker. You can see why they value this Rubik so highly.
Oh man, Sand King bought back.
Oh jeez.
Not going to be able to get there to contribute in that fight. That was not a buyback you probably want to be doing there. So he invests a lot for that. And, well, they're only going to be losing the clockwork. So Empire, it'll look like an opportunity there for Hellraisers to put up a very promising mid-game. Just like that, Empire take things back their way.
Uh-oh.
So
No, I'm losing control of my mouse. Okay, there we go. My Dota got drunk for a second, but we poured some cold water on it, sobered it up. We're back in business here. And Doom continues to farm now, halfway to the Aghanim Scepter. If I'm HR, I just see that clock ticking. Sure, you've got a Lincolns on PA, maybe you can build another Lincolns or 2, but you just don't want to get to that point in the game where Doom can kill 2 heroes by himself instantly, no matter how farmed they are. That is not a winning recipe most games.
Uh-oh. Arts could be in trouble here. They pop the Lincolns immediately, move in. That allows the Doom to be opened up, and now Arts not going to be able to save with that force. Instead, actually trapped in the corner. The call down will help seal the deal on that, and they get the Skywrath Mage. Empire not done yet. Move forward. They take the Sandstorm. Aloha hoping it was going to be the Burrow, but got him. Looks like he'll also be dropping here. Puts himself in his own corner. Sandstorm, look at Resolution inside the base. They get that kill though. They take down 3. Oh, look at this. Goric wants to hold Resolution inside the base, but he's also going to be in trouble. Brought back, and they get him. Wave from the low ground, coming out from Always Want to Fly, and now it's 4 down all day. Uh-oh. Empire back-to-back, huge fights for them. And
they
They're just
keep
gonna go
on
into
fighting
base.
without F and Ninja. The Ember has not been involved in
Dire's
any of
bottom
these
tower
fights,
is
and
being attacked.
they're just not strong enough to take the fights without all
Radiant's
5. I don't know if
top
they
tower
could
is
even
under
with him, but
siege.
without him, there's just no way.
Dire's bottom tower
Empire
is
have
under
too many
attack.
buttons that
I hope Dire's
press
bottom
too many
tower
like press
has
R
fallen.
and just win the team fight heroes, and they do end up at least getting a Brewmaster trade off here. Still, the tier 3 goes down. Overall victors over that fight have to be Empire, and that one
yeah.
kill though is a 1,500 gold swing, so a nice pickup for them. But you wanted answers to Evasion, Dakota. You get one now. MKB out for Silent already. Doom, Ag's almost completed. And PA's dying anyway, even with the Evasion. She's just getting destroyed. Gets doomed and is just useless.
Yeah, they do a nice job making a jump in and making sure they pop that Lincoln's, and it really doesn't take a whole lot to get it popped. They have plenty of spells to just quickly eliminate it. And lately, it's been a lot of that drunken haze just simply being thrown out on her. So they do that, they do the Doom, and doesn't take much else. Even with that Lincoln Sphere, she can be brought down pretty dang quick. And now with that MKB, it's going to be so much harder. I know Hellraisers had some big comebacks yesterday, and I hope they have more of the same Kool-Aid for this series, because they're going to need it.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say about the game yesterday is they had the kind of lineup. I think it was like Troll, someone else who bash or uses the attacks too really well. I forget the exact heroes, but it was a super hard right-click late game lineup, and they weren't up against a Doom. That's the other thing. Doom just kind of shuts those types of heroes down if he gets enough items. The other thing is this Brewmaster is also keeping pace with his teammates, and late game Brew is nothing to sneeze at. You get an Abyssal Blade Refresher on him and AC in the mix there. He can often win a lot of head-on engagements.
Yeah, I won't be sneezing at this Brew.
Don't sneeze
Don't
at
worry.
him. Please.
I've never heard sneeze. I've heard scoff. Never
Yeah.
Sneeze. I won't
Are you
sneeze.
flaming? Is this
Moving
your
in,
idea
though.
of a flame?
What? Jeff.
Jeff!
Oh, here we go. Loa jumps on in, and well, see you later, Dread. Birdman goes crashing back to the earth as they just get that easy support pick right there. Empire not letting up whatsoever. They're dominating Tear here. 26-20 now.
Dire's
With
middle
all their
tower
ults
is being
still ready to
attacked.
be expended. They're ready for a fight, especially with advantage in numbers. This is going to be an easy tier 2 to go for, but Sleight of Fist Revenant
Dire's
back.
middle tower
Ember
is
Spirit
under
needs to be
attack.
careful. They will be able to get this
In the
tier 2.
meantime, Arts has snuck his way into the
Dire's middle
pit
tower has
using
been
a
destroyed.
range creep here. He's going to try and take down Roshan, but they're coming in hot. Empire, I think they're going to get here in time. Do they grab this Aegis? They walk into the pit. Oh shit, there's Arts in there. Let's go kill him, says Silent Blink in. And that's one death.
Longest
This
Aegis
goddamn
ever.
fight for round 2.
Oh, big slam call down. BKB popped, and it's a spread of damage. Oh my goodness, the MKB putting in its work right there. And PA may have gotten that Roche, but she already loses both her lives. Takes down
And has no
another two.
buyback. No
Empire.
buyback on her or the Sand King. This is the Clockwork can buy back. It's at a 3v5 at best, with Brew Split still online. Dakota,
Dire's
Empire,
bottom
still
barracks is
looking
under
like the
attack.
favorites here in this qualifier.
What went wrong so quick? It
Dire's
seemed
bottom
pretty back
barracks
and
has
forth for a
fallen.
while. Remember, bottom lane, they got
Dire's
multiple
bottom
picks
barracks is
taking
being
down
attacked.
Silent while he was even farming out his own jungle, and all of a sudden it was just Empire who just
Dire's
found all
bottom
the kills they could
barracks
ask
has
for.
been
Aloha Dance, I
destroyed.
gotta tell you, on this Rubik, he found so many good kills that he managed to farm up a nice quick time Blink Dagger, and he's been really good at setting up initiations. And as I say
Dire's
that,
middle tower
Phoenix
is
is
under
back, but they're not
siege.
gonna be able to catch that pesky Ember Spirit, but they are gonna be able to segue into this mid lane where they are
Radiant's top
muscling
tower is under
towards this tier
attack.
3, but now with everyone coming back up, PA's got 5 more seconds. They just had to just walk back with their winnings, and they got to be feeling pretty damn good here in game number 1.
I feel like Ember didn't come to enough fights this game. There was 2 big fights where he was off farming the top lane. There was also a time mid where he didn't even have a TP scroll because he had
Radiant's
the
top
Belt of
tower
Giant
is
Strength
under
Bracer and
siege.
a bottle, boots, I think Magic Stick somewhere in the mix there, and just no TP on his hero. I don't... trying to run Ember as just this like AFK farming carry just seems very odd when you're up against this Empire draft. If it goes late enough, this is not a 4 protect 1 kind of game. They also had the PA try to take fights, but this is where you go Lincoln's and you just realize Lincoln's is not really a counter to Doom or to any of Empire's initiations. It's just maybe a way to help you run away from them a bit quicker. But they're going to get off Doom on you, and they don't have a great defensive hero. They don't have a Chen send back or a Wisp relocate out. You get caught by that, you are going to die. It's just a matter of how long you can live through it. So I think Ember should have came to fights more. I also just think that it's tough to play against this type of Empire draft because there's that ticking time bomb unless you crush all the lanes where, you know, at some point they come out as a 5-man squad and just run you over. And the other thing is Empire's rotations were really good. Every time they went for a smoke gank or a pick-off, even in the laning stage, Aloha Dance kept on connecting and keeping them in it, and they had very little wasted time. Every time they went for something, it paid off.
Yep, and maybe being well warmed up and ready after that very long previous best-of-3 certainly helps the case, but Hellraiser's down
Radiant's bottom
pretty low
tower
here in
is
game
being
number 1.
attacked.
Hopefully they can begin to
But just
warm up
continue doing
themselves here as
whatever it was you were
Empire
doing.
stride what looks like towards this top lane. Hellraiser's
Radiant's bottom tower is under
bounce this
siege.
one back. Desperation mode to try to pull together as much farm as possible on Arts and this Ember Spirit, but might be too little too late here. Now with Empire, well, going for the last outer tower. Hellraisers are probably going to have to sack this one, take this time to just build any last defense,
Dire's top
and go
tower
for a
is under
final hurrah, I'd
siege.
imagine, in the base.
Radiant's
future.
middle tower is being
Pushing in
attacked.
the bottom lane is Gork. HR just...
Dire's
I don't
top
think they can
tower
take the
has
fight
been
at the base, but
destroyed.
they're certainly not taking it outside. They'll have to come back
Radiant
soon, or they can just
structures
forfeit
have been
this game
fortified.
because Empire
Radiant's bottom tower
are going
is
high
being
ground.
attacked.
5 men, bull rushing their way up
Dire's
this top
top
lane
tower
and
is being
looking
attacked.
to take that 1-0 lead, a 2-0 sweep here by Empire, or 2-1 win. They go to China, at least as a wild card, potentially
Dire's top
as the
tower is
qualified
under
team
attack.
from this European
Not
qualifier.
that I care one
They're
way or
close
the
to the
other.
game 1 victory.
Dire's
HR
top tower is
already
being
the Lincoln
destroyed.
Sphere broken. As you can see, the gyrocopter missile very nice against it, just that value point. And now they leap in further with Resolutions BKB. They get the kill. They steal Burrow Strike. Aloha
Dire's
Dance
top
now
barracks
can
has
be the
fallen.
initiator in multiple
Dire's
fronts, and
top barracks
they're
is
diving them
being
back towards the well.
Dire's
Doom
top
thrown out.
barracks has
It
been
doesn't even matter if they
destroyed.
get the kill. Art sitting at the well, and HR just getting butchered. Continuing to chase Gorik forward. Burrow Strike already used. They maybe lose Aloha Dance for all this, but it's an acceptable sacrifice, Dakota. 2 lanes of Rex fully caved in, and room for more items. About to get the refresher on the Doom. Gyro, 3,300 gold in the bank. His next item coming soon. Everybody's getting rich.
DD. This is just, yeah. Everybody's Scrooge McDuckin over here on Empire. They get exactly what they want. Daedalus is going to be complete here for your Ember Spirit, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And I got to also give props to Empire's support play. Always want to fly, just always there, back and behind, just in case Silent does get isolated or caught out, and can be right there with the swap, whether it's catching out and saving Silent or Resolution, allowing him to be able to get that split off and be a part of the fight. So, well-rounded group over there. Hellraisers is just looking to kind of bring it together. Do you think that it's just more Empire warmed up, ready, and feeling good, or do they just throw together a draft that just kind of has an answer to everything that Hellraisers have tried to put together this game?
That's a tough question.
Because the
Clockwork-
Clockwork seemed to me like it was tricky.
the Clockwork pick I wasn't convinced by, and he played well too. Like, put a lot of pressure on early, almost killed the gyrocopter several times. He didn't end up having a great record, but I think he did what you expect from the Clockwork in the off lane, and maybe they could have gone for more mid-game aggression, but Silent gets caught out mid now. They might actually kill off this jar. Oh no, he's BKB'd. Now he's gonna pop his double damager, and afterwards, goddamn, getting forced out of the fight. Gorak trying to go in deep, but just off with his head, says Silent. He'll finish him. Art's on the run again. Deleted from the fight, and probably from this game by Yoki. Blinks in again. He'll kill him off. He'll slash down the Skywrath, chopping up Icarus's wings, and now they chase forward onto the Ember. 4 dead. HR not looking so hot anymore. They're all out of steam.
Aloha Dance even took Epicenter, so nice little Epicenter probably coming in here for this.
And oh, by the way, he's even got an eggs here, so he'll have a super epicenter.
An Epicenter that's even better than Sand Kings
Yeah.
himself. Nice. So here we go, charging it up. Goes in. Apo Ninja is just gonna walk away, but he's like, "Look at my cool Epi." Now, always one flight could be in trouble. Goes down to half life, not too bad. And call down just seems to be a bit of footsie here. No real commitments, however. The last hurrah, though, for Hellraisers is one last racks to stand. A tier 3 that's very low. The last thing that's holding it up. I don't know. Hellraisers, maybe they're already thinking game number 2, what our comeback play is going to be here as they just try to finish out this one for now. I don't really see a comeback. I mean, it's 20k plus still net worth lead here for Empire.
There is no comeback this game unless Empire suicide to the fountain. It's pretty much at that point.
Yeah.
They...
Now you take this time to warm up even more. Discuss. Figure out what it is you need to do for bouncing back in game number 2, I suppose. Make them sweat it out. Maybe Empire, they're already pretty fatigued. They had to go through 3 long, exhausting games.
Yeah, maybe they needed the warm-up. I mean, I think if that's the thinking, then no problem sticking out. But the problem is it's hard to warm up when you're not allowed to leave the base. You're just kind of sitting there idly, waiting for the game to end. They're probably just discussing how they want to approach the next draft. They went for the Wisp ban, but in doing so, they gave away Brew this game. And Resolution has been showing us all game long that you always have to think twice about giving away this hero. 8-3 and 14. I don't know if he's been the star of the show, but the way the Brew affects how you approach the game is unlike almost any other hero. You can't really game plan against him, but you have to. If you let him get off splits, you're going to have a very, very bad time.
Smoke gank to take down Aloha Dance is successful here for Hellraisers. It is just a little support, but that little support had a small bounty on his head. One step in the right direction, but it's a direction where you have 100 miles to go.
Yeah, and the item progression is just halted entirely. Arts was once the leader net worth, now he's 7k down on the Gyro and the Doom. He's going back for a BKB, but still, realistically, he needs BKB Abyssal, buyback, because he's going to get doomed and die, almost certainly, unless he gets the jump, and then 1 or 2 more items of some kind, maybe a damage item and a Satanic or something like that. So, I'm talking about items that he may not have for 10, 15, 20 minutes at this rate.
It might not be 10, 15, 20
If
minutes.
there is, Empire's done something wrong. They should be ending the game with the next Aegis.
That's playing it extra safe here, but it's, both teams kind of dancing around the area. Hellraisers may be hoping that an engagement at the Roche Pit on their terms could be the start of a big comeback factor. You know, a slide jump in from your Sand King, but at that same moment, Empire are just going to push in all the lanes and force some of Hellraisers to at least address it, step back and pull out some sort of base defense. So looks like here they hang out this Ember, jump forward. Does he get the Doom off? No, can't quite get it off here. Gorak does jump on forward, and from behind, there's a really nice Epi coming through, and Always Wanna Fly does end up going down, but however, they still find that Skywrath mage, so support for support. Yoki being chained up right
Yoki's
here.
just chilling here, got cogged, is getting daggered, still hasn't even used a single Doom yet. And now there's your first.
There it is.
1 down, refresh, go for more. This should be it. HR, they're about to lose mid-racks. So yeah, going into game 2, I'm not sure, do you want to give away the Wisp? And I guess the good thing is HR should have first pick, so they could maybe ban the Wisp, try to go for the Brew first pick, or if that gets banned, grab something else nice in exchange. That
Dyer's
Yeah,
middle tower has
it's shown
fallen.
last game that Empire seem to be able to control the strategy. If you give them what they want, they'll take advantage of it
Dire
here.
has fortified
Aloha
its
Dance
structures.
using the remnant to get away.
Double kill.
2 small jumps, but that dagger is going to get it.
Dyer's middle barracks
While that's
has
all
fallen.
happening, the
Radiant
Rax is
has
dropped,
spawned
the
mega
Mega Creeps have been unleashed, and, well, Hellraisers not looking to throw in the towel quite yet. Going to make
Dyer's
Empire
middle tower is
sweat it
being
out to the
attacked.
bitter
oh,
end.
it's bitter. This one doesn't taste good. Silent, is he gonna man up here? He's gonna try for it with the MKB. He shreds him. Any moment now.
Dyer's middle
Yeah,
tower is under
GG.
attack.
They are. This was a bit of a glutton for punishment kind of game from HR. It felt like it was over for 15 plus minutes, but
Victory.
warm-up game, Dakota. Let's hope that's for HR's sake that that's what they look at this one as.
Yeah, for HR's sake, if you're an HR fan, hopefully it was a warm-up. For Empire, you're feeling good if you're an Empire fan. And these guys, what are they? So that means they are They have 20 wins in their last 21 games. Absolutely ridiculous here. They're going to look to continue that hot streak for Hellraisers. However, they're going to look to try to take it to a game number 3. It's match point for Empire. Loser won't be out, but they will be forced down to the lower bracket here. We'll have to see coming up. Game number 2, who's going to be taking it?
Well, with that said, we're going to take a quick break here. Like you mentioned, Dakota coming back in just a few moments for that, not deciding, but for that game number 2, and potentially a deciding game if Empire can make it the 2-0 sweep. You're watching Beyond the Summit's presentation of the Dota 2 Asia Championships, $1.5 million in prize money, and rising quickly. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us, guys. Connell Guy and LD shall return in just a few moments.